Hey, and welcome to your Capricorn horoscopes for the week of September 17th to September 23rd. And magic is taking place in Capricorn. Of course, it almost usually does as we continue with our grand trine with Uranus and the Sun all week long. And that continues. We also have a secondary grand trine coming in as the moon comes into Capricorn right at the end of the week. That grand trine is also with Uranus as well as Mercury. So two grand trines only for one day, but that's a lot of really positive energy going towards what you are doing right now. We also continue that grand sextile between Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune as well. Lots of really good stuff. The moon coming in at the end of the week does present a bit of a challenge with a square with Mars. Mars is focused on your support system. The moon is focused on the past. What's interesting about this to me is the typical Capricorn mentality. Never rely on anybody before you rely on you, because everybody else is kind of sort of reliable. And it feels like what's coming of this is sort of, again, proof of that when you rely on somebody and they don't quite meet your expectations, if that makes sense, which is frustrating. But at the same time, that this is sort of a lesson for you guys when you think about it, because yes, just because most people are unreliable doesn't mean that you should only rely on yourself. We all find ourselves in a position of needing help at some point in our lives. Now, my Capricorn grandmother made it to 89 years old before she needed any help from anybody else. So, yes, you can put it off for a really long time, but eventually you do. And actually, the longer you put that off, the more difficult it is to accept the help. We really struggled for the first 6 to 8 months or so with her accepting the help. So it does. You get more and more and more set in your ways. So these things popping up are not reminding you that you shouldn't rely on anybody. They're reminding you to make sure that you're relying on reliable people and not just what's there, if that makes sense. Let's look at the good stuff now. To heck with the bad, let's look at the good stuff now. First of all, we're going to focus on this grand sextile here with Uranus and Neptune. Neptune's focus is on the home. Uranus's focus is on your day-to-day schedule. Pluto's focus is on the past. I feel like part of this is really making sure that you are focusing some quality time at home, not because you have things to do at home, but to enjoy the space that you've created. You know, a lot of times Capricorns are work, 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 but taking the time to enjoy the space you created is also really important. Otherwise, you feel like you're never getting anywhere. And that's a sucky feeling for sure. Pluto's grand trine with Uranus and the sun. The sun's focus is on career. So we're also looking at our schedule in terms of, yes, making sure that there's home time and rest time, but really focusing a lot of energy on our career and moving forward in those career goals at the same time. This second grand trine that comes in on Saturday after Mercury's shadow period, retrograde shadow period is over, is also interesting because Mercury is focused on long-term goals. So we're really focusing on long-term career goals here, but that grand sextile just comes in and says, make sure that home time, rest time, you time, self-care time is also on that schedule. Just a reminder so you don't put everything you have just into your career goals. They're important, but time for you is also really important as well. And let's face it, time with the people that we love is also important as well too, especially if you have children, because they don't stay that way for very long. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do click the link in the description and send me a copy. I would love it. If you are listening rather than viewing, that's ko-fi.com/heavy metal psychic. Also check out heavymetalpsychic.com. Lots of fun stuff going on over there. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, ooh, you guys got some big stuff going on. I, of course, have high expectations. I always have high expectations, but I definitely want to see you guys kick some butt this week because I really think you're going to. So I will see you guys next week. As usual, make it a great one, you guys.